Jeffrey Pepper Rogers here for acoustic guitar, kicking off a new series on soloing basics. So guitar soloing can be so alluring, but also a little daunting. Seems like it requires a whole different kind of knowledge and facility on the fingerboard than playing rhythm does. And while it's true that solos can be fast and complex, they certainly don't have to be. You can play great musically satisfying solos with very simple ingredients, just as you can write a great song with just a few chords. Now, this series is all about entry points into the world of soloing for newcomers to lead playing as well as those looking to strengthen their foundations. We're going to take it slowly, looking at building blocks of solos like scales, chord shapes, and phrasing, starting in the familiar territory of open position. In this installment, we'll go into the musical territory where many of us take our first steps into soloing, with a classic blues progression in E and the pentatonic scale. So this lesson is rooted in a specific style, but the concepts apply to any kind of music. So let's dig in. In essence, soloing involves picking from a set of notes that fit with the music you're playing over and putting them together into sequences and phrases, just as when you speak, you're drawing on words you know and combining them to make sentences. There are several ways to build a vocabulary of notes for soloing, and in this lesson we're going to look at one of the most common, the minor pentatonic scale. The minor pentatonic has just 5 notes: the 1 or the root, the flat 3, the 4, 5, flat 7. Now, those numbers are scale degrees and they lay out a pattern that applies to any key. We're going to be playing in E here, using the E minor pentatonic, so the notes are E is our 1 or our root, G is the flat 3, A is the 4, B is the 5, and D is the flat 7. And then if we keep going up through the scale over to the other strings, those same notes are just going to repeat in a different octave. So let's start by just playing the E minor pentatonic here in open position. I'm going to play it up and then back down again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. So as you play that up and down, notice the fret pattern. On string 6, 2, and 1, you're playing the open string and the 3rd fret. And on the other strings, 5, 4, and 3, you're playing the open string and the 2nd fret. So now let's play small pieces of the scale. This is a series of examples that are just 1 measure long, just 4 notes, 4 quarter notes. I'm going to start a metronome here and just take these 1 measure at a time. So I'm going to play the 1 measure, and then I'm going to stop and leave a gap of a measure while the metronome continues, and then I'll pick up with the next measure. So during that pause, you can repeat what I just played or just reset for the next example. This first set of examples, I'm just going to play part of the scale on 2 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this next series of examples, I'm going to just reverse direction. So start going up the scale, say, and then turn around and come down. Again, just 1 measure at a time, 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here are a few examples where I will skip over scale notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far we've been using all quarter notes, but now let's introduce a few eighth notes into these. And in keeping with the style, the blues style we're going to be playing over, we will play these as swing eighths. When you play straight eighth notes, you are subdividing the beat exactly. So your eighth notes are exactly half of a quarter note. But when you play swing eighths, they're not even. The first one is longer, the first eighth note is longer, and the second one is shorter. It sounds like you're playing the first and third notes of a triplet. So let me give you a quick example of what that sounds like. So there's our quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I were to play straight eighth notes, they would be like this. So those eighth notes were exactly half the length of the quarter note. But if I play them as swing eighths, here's what it comes out like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the sound of those swing eighths is the dun, 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 which I'm also going to be incorporating into my accompaniment. So here are a few examples where I put a pair of eighth notes on beat 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here are some examples where I put a pair of eighth notes on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing with those eighth notes, you may want to play them if you're playing with a pick like I am. You may want to use alternate picking, so down on the first eighth note and up on the second one. So now comes the good stuff, using these notes to play some actual solos. So we're going to play over a 12-bar blues in E with a simple shuffle rhythm. And first, let me just play the rhythm part by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we're playing solos here, it's important to note that we are using an E minor pentatonic scale, but the key is actually E major. I'm using E, A, and B7 chords. So playing or singing notes from a minor scale over a major key progression creates a harmonic tension that is fundamental to blues, as well as blues-influenced styles like rock and bluegrass. So now let's play some solos using only notes from the open position E minor pentatonic. There are two core principles at work in these solos, and we'll continue to apply them through this whole series. The first is to play phrases. So think of your guitar when you're soloing as a vocalist. Sung melodies aren't a continuous stream of notes. There's a line, a pause, another line, and so on. So aim for that quality in your solos, with lines or phrases separated by space. And the next thing is to create patterns. Every time you play a series of notes, you create a pattern, a particular sequence of pitch and rhythm. So when you're soloing, try repeating and playing off the patterns that you create. That makes a huge difference in making your solos hang together musically. For our first solo, we're going to start small and use only the 4 scale notes on the G and D strings. So just those notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in that solo I just played, I did an opening phrase and then I stopped, just as a blues singer might do, and I repeated the exact same phrase. There was another pause and then a final phrase. So while that solo certainly wasn't tricky, in my book it is legit for sure, and it sounds musical. So let's take another pass, this time using only notes from the bottom 3 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, in that solo, I played an opening phrase, I paused, and then I repeated it exactly. The last phrase used different notes, but followed a very similar rhythmic pattern. Now here's another take focused on strings 1 through 3, again with a series of 3 phrases that use similar rhythms and melodic shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far in these examples, we haven't paid particular attention to the chords we're playing over as they cycle through E, A, and B7. In our final solo in this lesson, we're going to respond to those chord changes in an easy but impactful way by playing the root of each new chord. So those root notes are already in our pentatonic scale. For E, I've got E notes, that's the root, open 6th string, 4th string, 2nd fret, open 1st string, all E notes, the root of an E chord. For A, I've got an A on the open 5th string and 1 on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And for B, there's a B on 5th string, 2nd fret, and the open 2nd string. So in this solo, each time the chord changes, I'm going to play the root of the new chord right on the downbeat. It's a great way to lock a solo in more tightly with the chord progression and underscore changes in the harmony. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that you've worked through these examples, put away the tab, cue up that rhythm track, and try improvising your own lines. Have fun with it, and I will see you next time. All right, so to give you something to jam over, I'm going to do the same progression first slowly at the tempo we've been doing it. I'm going to run the progression twice, and then I will do it again a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's a little faster version. 1, 2, 3, 4.